Princess Zarathiel of the Valerian Empire stood atop the crystalline battlements of her fortress, her four eyes scanning the horizon where three moons cast their ethereal light across the amber plains. Her translucent blue skin shimmered with barely contained energy, the bioluminescent patterns along her arms pulsing with the rhythm of her twin hearts. For 3 cycles, she had prepared for this moment, the final stand against the Korthak invasion that threatened to consume her world. Behind her, 10,000 of her most trusted soldiers stood in formation, their plasma rifles charged and their loyalty supposedly unwavering. Among them stood Marcus Chen, the only human in her army, an oddity from a species most Valerians considered primitive and weak. He had arrived on their world 2 years ago, a survivor from a destroyed Earth colony ship, and despite his alien appearance and strange customs, he had earned his place through sheer determination and an uncanny ability to think tactically under pressure. "My lady." General Vextar approached, his serpentine form coiled with tension. "The Korthak advance. Their numbers are significant." Princess Zarathiel nodded, her gaze never leaving the distant dust clouds that marked the enemy's approach. "How significant, General?" 50,000, perhaps more. Their bioships darken the sky. She felt a chill run through her nervous system. The Korthak were a hive mind species, driven by an insatiable hunger to consume and assimilate other civilizations. They had already devoured a dozen worlds in this sector, their victims becoming part of their collective consciousness, their bodies twisted into living weapons. Marcus stepped forward from the ranks, his human features stark against the alien, faces surrounding him. "Princess, if I may suggest a tactical adjustment." "The human speaks out of turn," General Vexitar hissed, his forked tongue flicking with disdain. "This is no place for primitive suggestions." But Princess Zarathiel raised a hand for silence. In the months Marcus had served under her command, his strategies had saved countless lives. His species might lack the advanced biotechnology of her people, but they possessed something equally valuable, an unpredictable creativity that often caught enemies off guard. "Speak, Marcus Chen of Earth." "The Korthak expect us to meet them head-on using our superior defensive position. But what if we—" A plasma bolt seared through the air, missing Marcus by mere inches. Princess Zarathiel spun around to see General Vextar's weapon still smoking, his eyes glowing with a sickly green light that definitely hadn't been there before. "I'm sorry, my lady," the general said, but his voice carried an otherworldly harmonic that made her blood run cold. "The collective has need of your unique genetic template. Your psychic abilities will make an excellent addition to our consciousness." Horror flooded through Princess Zarathiel as she realized the truth. The Korthak hadn't just been advancing, they had been infiltrating. Her own army had been compromised, probably for months. The green glow was spreading through the ranks, as her soldiers turned their weapons toward her, their minds no longer their own. "How many?" she whispered. "All of them," General Vextar replied with a smile that belonged to something else entirely. "Except, curiously, the human. His mind seems resistant to our influence. No matter, he dies with you." 1,000 plasma rifles rose in unison, their targeting systems locking onto her position. Princess Zarathiel's mind raced through her options, but there were none. Even with her enhanced reflexes and energy manipulation abilities, she couldn't dodge 1,000 simultaneous shots at point-blank range. "For Earth!" Marcus roared suddenly, and before anyone could react, he launched himself through the air with a desperate leap that defied the logic of his supposedly inferior human physiology. Time seemed to slow as he spread his arms wide, his body intercepting the space between the princess and her army. 1,000 plasma bolts erupted simultaneously, their combined light turning the night into day. The shots that should have pierced Princess Zarathiel's hearts instead found Marcus Chen's body. But something impossible happened. Instead of being vaporized instantly, Marcus absorbed the energy. His human DNA, evolved under a different star and shaped by a different world, reacted to the alien plasma in ways no one had predicted. His body became a living conductor, channeling and redirecting the massive energy discharge. "Princess!" he shouted through gritted teeth, his body glowing like a star as he fought to contain the power coursing through him. "Remember what I told you about human stubbornness? We don't know when to quit." With a sound like thunder, Marcus released the stored energy in a directed pulse that swept across the battlements. The blast severed the Korthak's psychic connection to the possessed soldiers, freeing their minds and sending feedback through the hive mind network that reached all the way to the advancing army below. General Vextar screamed, a sound that belonged to 1,000 voices crying out in unison, before collapsing as the alien influence was burned from his neural pathways. Marcus fell to his knees, smoke rising from his clothing, his body somehow still intact despite channeling enough energy to level a city block. Princess Zarathiel caught him before he could hit the ground, her 4 eyes wide with amazement and something deeper, a recognition of the sacrifice he had just made. "How?" she whispered. Marcus managed a weak smile, his human features pale, but alive. "Turns out being from a death world has its advantages. We're used to surviving things that should kill us." Around them, her army was awakening from their psychic imprisonment, confused but free. In the distance, the Korthak advance had stalled as their hive mind reeled from the unexpected feedback. For the first time in months, Princess Zarathiel felt hope. "Marcus Chen of Earth," she said formally, though her voice shook with emotion. "I name you protector of the realm and guardian of the royal house. Your people will be remembered in our histories as allies of the highest order." Marcus chuckled weakly. "Just doing my job, princess. Though next time, maybe we should discuss hazard pay." As the 3 moons continued their dance across the alien sky, Princess Zarathiel realized that sometimes the most powerful force in the universe wasn't advanced technology or psychic abilities. It was the simple human refusal to let evil triumph no matter the cost. The Korthak had made one critical error in their calculations. They had forgotten that humans, despite their apparent weaknesses, possessed something that no hive mind could ever truly understand: the willingness to sacrifice everything for those they chose to protect. And that made all the difference.